Hi guys, welcome to the studio or welcome back to the studio. Today I have a pranayama or breathing practice for you that is focused entirely on fire breath. You may have heard the Sanskrit name for this breath, Kapalbhati, but translates to fire breath. Fire breath is an intermediate yoga practice that focuses entirely on your exhale. So we have very active exhales using the diaphragm and the abdominal wall, and very passive inhales. And there are a lot of benefits to fire breath. So I want to touch on those. I want to touch on some instances where maybe it's less beneficial to do fire breath before we get into the actual breath, particularly because it is what I would consider an intermediate strategy, and it's good for you to know these things before you actually do the exercise, just to determine whether or not it's right for your body. So the benefits of fire breath are almost entirely physical benefits. There are some metaphysical or some yoga philosophy benefits that you can get from that, but for me, fire breath is very much in the body. So benefit number one is that it helps to clear out your sinuses, it helps to clear out your chest. Because it's focusing on that exhale, you're going to take anything that is stuck in your respiratory system and push it out. So it's great for if you kind of have the remnants of a cold that you can't quite kick and you want to give your body a little bit of a boost to force out what you can't, say cough or sneeze out. Do fire breath. Just have tissues nearby and maybe forego doing fire breath, on a first date or as a party trick. The second benefit of fire breath is that it helps to wake you up. We call it an energetically uplifting practice. And that very literally means that it does help to make you feel a little bit more energized, a little bit more invigorated. So fire breath is a great way to help wake you up in the morning. And I know that there are tons of yogis out there that say, oh, I don't need caffeine, I just do fire breath in the morning and that helps to wake me up. So that's a little bit of food for thought for you to consider. And there are some anatomical reasons for why that is, but I find that with fire breath, it's a lot more beneficial to actually do the exercise and to observe your own body and to observe why that might be the case for you. So we'll leave the anatomy where it lies and we'll kind of just experience and explore the effects of that, the energetic effects of the breath together. The last reason why I would recommend doing fire breath for anybody, and this is, I say it's an intermediate practice, but it is still accessible to beginners. So if you would like to improve your awareness of your core and your control of your breath, fire breath is great for that, because you're working entirely with the abs and entirely with the diaphragm. Actually practicing fire breath is really, really going to benefit your awareness of the entire core area of the body. It's a nice workout if you are completely new to fitness, just sitting and repeating your fire breath. So it's a nice short core workout. If you're a little bit, excuse me, if you're a little bit more advanced, it's a great warm-up as well. I like to, if I know I'm going to be doing a lot of arm balances like crow or side crow or flying pigeon, I like to do a couple of rounds of fire breath before I actually go into the pose, just to help bring a little bit of awareness and a little bit of heat to my core. And really that's where the breath gets its name from, the fact that it settles in the core where your navel or your solar plex chakra is, and of course that's associated with fire. So we really are creating this idea of a heating breath with our fire breath. As far as when you might want to avoid fire breath, the most obvious and the most important one is if you're pregnant, especially, in the very, very early or the very, very late stages of pregnancy, because we are forcibly contracting the abdominal wall and the diaphragm. It's kind of like a hiccup in reverse. So it might not necessarily be good for you or comfortable for you if you're pregnant. And of course, if you are, already cramping in that area for whatever reason, it's probably not the best practice for you to do on that particular day. The other thing that I would say is if you have high blood pressure, or if you are currently experiencing a sinus related headache. I said earlier that it's great for clearing your sinuses, but because we're exhaling and because everything is quite forceful, we are pushing blood up toward the head. So if you are currently experiencing a headache or you're entirely blocked up in your sinuses, this breath is not going to do you any favors, and it'll probably actually increase your headache. So give it a miss on that day. There's no harm done. Just because you've said, oh, I'm going to do this every morning, doesn't mean that you actually have to do it every morning if your body is not in a condition where the activity is going to be useful. Okay, so let's give fire breathing a try. So I want you to do just one or two first, just to help you get a feel for what fire breath feels like. So in order to do this, we're going to take the right hand, place it gently on the space just between or just underneath your sternum. Okay, gently. And you can make like a little fist if that feels good, or you can use a flat hand. Bring the left hand on top. Tuck the elbows into the body so you're nice and snuggly. Close the eyes. Inhale. And then as you exhale, just exhale kind of like you're blowing into a tissue. Short and sharp. Okay? And you should be able to feel under your hand your diaphragm contracting and your abs contracting as well. So you should feel a little bit of a squeeze and a jerk in the body as you exhale. So do that a couple more times here. Just inhale. And then one breath out. And then inhale. And out. Okay? So that's your basic fire breath. Now what will happen as we start to stack our fire breath is that your inhale is going to happen automatically. So I've said that already, but I just want to remind you, your focus is on your exhale. Your inhale, your body will do that on its own. So you might catch yourself, sipping the air between your exhales, and that's what we want, is just this little breathing in between without any effort on your part. Okay? Now ultimately, a full fire breathing practice is 108 breaths, but that's a lot of work, particularly if you're new to yoga, to fitness, to fire breathing. Okay, so 108 breaths is a lot. That's a really good goal for you to have. What I like to do is work in increments of 9, 18, and 36. So we're going to focus on coming up to 36 exhales today. If that feels good and you want to keep going, you're more than welcome to. The video will end and you can go ahead and keep practicing. If you find that 36 is a challenge, that's okay. Do what feels good for your body and make sure that you are being kind to yourself. So if you do start to feel tired, if you feel like your abs and your diaphragm are a little bit tender, stop for the day. Okay? So the last thing that I want to make sure that you know is that your final exhale, so whatever round we're on, whether it's 9, 18, 36, your final exhale is going to be a nice long exhale. You want to kind of empty the lungs completely, and then take maybe 3 seconds just to hold all of your breath out. Okay? So big long exhale, and then hold the breath for 3 seconds. And then inhale nice and slow, nice deep inhale, and you'll feel the way that the lungs feel a little bit clearer, the way that the body feels a little bit lighter, a little bit more oxygenated and energized. Okay? So 9, big long exhale, holding the breath, and then inhale. And then 18, big long exhale, holding the breath, and then inhale. And then 36. Okay? So hands to the belly. Eyes closed, elbows tucked in, sitting nice and tall. Deep inhale. 9 short, sharp exhales. Big long exhale, holding the breath for 3, 2, 1. Slow inhale through the nose. Really feel the lungs expand, the ribs expand, the diaphragm expand. And just exhale nice and slow. Then we'll reset for 18. Inhaling, lifting up through the crown of the head. 18 exhales. Three, 2, 1. Exhaling nice and long. Holding the breath. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Feeling all of that space being created in the chest, in the lungs, in the belly. Letting the exhale out nice and slow. Final round, 36. Resetting the body, inhaling. And begin. Big long exhale. Holding the breath for 3, 2, 1. Inhale nice and slow. And exhale, release the hands down to the lap. Open the eyes. So there we go, that is fire breathing. And you might feel a little clearer, you might feel a little bit more energetic. If you want to give 108 breaths a go, you're more than welcome to. If you are done for the day, that's fine too. And if you find that you're, a little bit sore, a little tender just in the top of the abdomen, that's okay. So if tomorrow you feel a little bit like you've done a lot of crunches, that's probably your fire breath. So I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that this has given you a good technique that you can integrate into your yoga practice. If you have any questions about any poses, any breathing practices, any yoga philosophy, anything like that that you would like me to go over, please comment below, send me an email, DM me on Instagram. Most of my channels are Alyssa, ALYSSA .dandelion yoga. And of course you can find my information on the website as well. I encourage you to check out the videos that are on the website because even though I've got all of my free videos on the website as well, I do have some extra resources, extra written materials that you are more than welcome to access for free just by viewing it on the website. Anyway, I hope that you have a really lovely day, and I will leave everything here for now. So we'll bring our hands to our heart center. Thumbs to the third eye, reminding us to have kind and loving thoughts. To our lips, reminding us to have kind and loving words. To our hearts, reminding us to have kind and loving intentions. And we'll take just a moment to bow to the efforts today. And thank you for watching. Bye.